secret mission, a
Stay
deadly
sharp.
trap,
We're approaching the
one
checkpoint.
survivor.
Roger
The
that.
desert was
Visibility is
quiet,
low with this
not
dust.
the normal kind of quiet.
Watch
This
Ray.
one felt heavy,
Good. No
like
surprises.
something was hiding in the air.
Stay sharp. We're
Private
approaching the
Daniel
checkpoint.
Reyes sat in the
Roger
back
that.
of the
Visibility
military
is low
truck.
with this dust.
His hands rested on his
Watch
rifle,
Ray.
but he was
Good.
not
No
holding
surprises.
it tight. He had learned not to waste energy. Out here, every little thing mattered. The sun had not fully come up yet. The sky was a dark blue, slowly turning gray. Cold air moved across the sand. There were 6 soldiers in the truck. No one was talking. They had been given their orders just 1 hour ago. Simple orders. Short mission. Get in. Check the building. Get out. That was all. But Daniel had done this long enough to know something important. Simple missions are never simple. Their team leader, Staff Sergeant Cole, sat near the front. He looked calm, like always. His face showed nothing, but his eyes were always moving, watching, thinking. Daniel trusted him. Everyone did. Cole turned slightly and spoke in a low voice. "We are 5 minutes out." No one answered. They all heard. They all understood. Daniel looked down at the photo in his pocket. He always carried it. A small picture of his younger sister, Maria. She was smiling in it. She had lost her front tooth when the picture was taken. He smiled a little. Then he folded the photo and put it back. Focus. That's what mattered now. The truck slowed down. Then it stopped. The engine went quiet. Now everything felt even more silent. Too silent. Cole raised his hand. Signal. Move. The soldiers jumped out of the truck one by one. Boots touched sand softly. No loud sounds. No wasted movement. The building stood ahead of them. Old. Broken. It looked empty. But that meant nothing. Intel said the place was being used by a small terrorist group. Just a checkpoint. Just a meeting spot. Nothing big. That's what they were told. Daniel looked at the building again. Something felt wrong. He could not explain it, but his body felt it. A small, tight feeling in his chest. Cole gave hand signals. 2 men left. 2 men right. Daniel stayed center with Cole. They moved forward slowly. Step by step, every sound mattered. Even breathing felt loud. They reached the door. It was slightly open. That was the first problem. Cole paused, looked at it, then at Daniel. Daniel nodded. Both of them knew. This was not right. Cole pushed the door open slowly. It made a small sound. Too loud. Inside, nothing. Empty room. Dust. Broken chairs. Old table. Daniel stepped inside. He scanned left, then right. No movement. Clear, one soldier whispered. But Daniel didn't feel clear. Not at all. Then he saw it. On the ground. A wire. Very thin. Almost hidden. His heart jumped. Stop. Too late. A loud
me,
click.
please.
Everything exploded.
I
The
can't
world
move.
turned white. Then black. Then sound hit. Boom. Daniel felt his body thrown back.
Help me, please.
He hit the ground hard. His
I
ears
can't
rang.
move.
He could not hear. Only a loud high sound. Dust filled the air. He tried to move. Pain. Everywhere. He opened his eyes slowly. Everything was blurry. He turned his head. The room was gone. Half of it destroyed. Walls broken. Fire starting. Cole? No answer. Anyone? Nothing. Daniel tried to stand. His legs shook. He almost fell again. Then he heard something. Not from inside. From outside. Voices. Not English. Daniel froze. More voices. Closer. Then footsteps. Running. His heart started beating fast. Too fast. This was not just a trap. This was planned. They knew. Daniel grabbed his rifle. Checked it. Still working. Good. He moved slowly to the wall. Looked through the broken part. And then he saw them. Men. Armed. Many of them. More than expected. Not a small group. This was something bigger. Much bigger. Daniel stepped back quietly. His breathing was heavy now. He tried to slow it down. Think. His team. Gone. He was alone. Outside, the men were spreading out, covering the building. They were not leaving. They were waiting. For anyone still alive. For him. Daniel looked around the destroyed room. No exit in front. Fire on one side. Enemies outside. Trapped. His hands tightened on his rifle. This was not a mission anymore. This was survival. He checked his gear quickly. Ammo, knife, radio, broken. No help, no backup, nothing. Daniel closed his eyes for 1 second. Just one. Then he opened them. Different now. Focused. Cold. If he stayed, he would die. If he moved, he might still die. But at least he would try. Outside, footsteps got closer. Voices louder. One of them shouted something. Then silence. Daniel held his breath. A shadow appeared near the doorway. One enemy. Then another. They were coming in. Daniel raised his rifle. Slowly. Carefully. Finger on trigger. The first man stepped inside. Daniel fired. Everything changed again. Gunshots exploded through the air. Loud. Sharp. Fast. The man fell instantly. The second turned in shock. Daniel fired again. No hesitation. No fear. Just action. But now they knew. Outside, shouting started. More footsteps. More guns. Too many. Daniel moved quickly deeper into the building, dodging debris, avoiding fire. Bullets started hitting the walls. Dust falling everywhere. He ran. No plan. Just movement. Survive. That was all that mattered now. Behind him, the trap was closing. And Daniel Reyes was the only one left alive. Daniel ran. Not fast at first. Careful. Low to the ground. His boots slid over broken concrete and sand. Every step made a small sound, and every sound felt too loud. Gunshots still echoed behind him. The men outside were shouting. They were angry now. They knew someone was alive. They knew he was alive. Daniel turned into a narrow hallway inside the broken building. The walls were cracked. Parts of the ceiling had fallen. Dust floated in the air, making it hard to see. He coughed once, then stopped himself. Too loud. He slowed down, breathing through his nose. Control. He reached a corner and pressed his back against the wall. Listened. Footsteps. More than one. Coming inside. Daniel looked down at his rifle. He checked the magazine quickly. Not full. Not empty. Not enough for a long fight. He swallowed. This was bad. Think. He looked around the hallway. 2 doors. One open. One closed. He moved to the open one first. Slow. Step by step. Inside, a small room. Empty. Just broken wood and dust. No way out. Useless. He turned to the second door. Closed. Daniel placed his hand on the handle. Paused. Listened again. The footsteps were closer now. No time. He opened the door quickly and stepped inside. Then closed it softly behind him. Dark. Very dark. He waited. Let his eyes adjust. Shapes slowly appeared. Boxes. Metal shelves. Old supplies. A storage room. Daniel moved deeper inside. Then he saw it. A small window. High up on the wall. Broken glass. Hope. He moved toward it quietly. Looked outside. Sand. Open ground. No cover. And worse, 2 armed men standing not far away. Watching. Daniel stepped back slowly. No escape that way. He turned again. Looked around the room. There had to be something. Anything. Then he heard it. The door outside. Opening. Voices. Closer now. Inside the hallway. Daniel's heart started pounding again. They went this way, one of them said. The voice was rough. Sharp. Daniel moved behind a stack of metal shelves. Lowered himself. Silent. The handle of the door slowly turned. Daniel raised his rifle. The door opened. Light from the hallway entered the dark room. A man stepped in. Gun raised. Looking. Searching. Daniel held his breath. The man took 1 step forward. Then another. Closer. Daniel could see his boots now. Just a few more steps. Then a noise outside. Another soldier shouting something. The man in the room paused. Turned his head slightly. That was the moment. Daniel moved. Fast. He stood up and fired. 2 shots. The man dropped instantly. Daniel grabbed him before he hit the ground too hard. Lowered him quietly. But it didn't matter. They heard. Voices shouted again. Louder. Closer. They're inside. Daniel cursed under his breath. No more hiding. He searched the man quickly. Ammo, knife, radio. Daniel took the ammo, left the rest. Then he looked around again. Faster now. There, in the corner, a door, smaller, half hidden behind broken boxes. He rushed to it, opened it. A narrow stairway, going down, dark, tight. Daniel didn't think. He moved, down the stairs, fast but careful. Above him, footsteps entered the storage room. Too late. Daniel reached the bottom. Another room, larger, cold, concrete walls, underground. He looked around. Tables, maps, radios. This was not just a hideout. This was a base, a real one. Daniel stepped closer to one of the tables. Maps spread across it, marked locations, lines, symbols. His eyes widened. This was big, bigger than anything they were told. Multiple targets, multiple cities. This was not a small group. This was a network. Above him, more footsteps, more voices. They were coming down. Daniel grabbed one of the radios on the table, tried it, static, then a voice, faint. Unit respond. Daniel's heart jumped. He pressed a button. Soldier down. I'm alone, need backup. Static again, then silence. No answer. Daniel lowered the radio slowly. Still alone. He looked around again. There had to be another way out. Then he saw it, at the far end of the room. A metal door, closed. Daniel ran toward it. Behind him, voices on the stairs. Down there. Daniel reached the door, tried the handle. Locked. No. He stepped back, looked around. There, a tool, metal bar. He grabbed it, turned back to the door, hit it, hard. Once, twice, again. The lock cracked. Behind him, footsteps getting closer. Daniel hit the door one more time. It burst open. Light flooded in. Outside. Daniel didn't stop. He ran, out into the open desert. Gunfire started behind him. Bullets hit the ground near his feet. Sand jumped into the air. Daniel ran faster. No cover, no place to hide, just open land. But he kept going, because stopping was not an option. Behind him, the men spread out. They were chasing him now. The hunt had begun. Daniel Reyes was no longer just surviving. Now, he was being hunted. Daniel ran until his chest burned.
Wind's picking up.
The desert stretched
Something's
far
out there.
in every direction.
I see
Sand,
movement on
heat,
the ridge.
and empty
Stay
space.
low.
No buildings, no trees, no place to hide. Only danger behind him. Gunshots echoed again. Farther now, but still coming. Daniel slowed down for a moment and dropped behind a small sand ridge. It was not much cover, but it was something. He lay flat, pressed into the sand, breathing hard. He turned his head slowly. Looked back. Small figures in the distance, moving, spreading out. They were not rushing anymore. They were hunting carefully. Smart. Daniel wiped sweat from his face. His hands were shaking, not from fear, from pain, from exhaustion. He checked his rifle again. Less ammo now. Much less. He checked his body. Bruises. Cuts. His left arm hurt badly. But he could still move. That was enough. Think. Running forever was not a plan. They would catch him. Sooner or later. He needed something else. Then he remembered the underground room. The maps. The markings. This place was important to them. Which meant they would not want it destroyed. An idea formed in his mind. Dangerous. But it was all he had. Daniel took a deep breath. Then he turned around. Back toward the building. Back toward the enemy. He moved slower now. Lower. Using the land. Small hills. Shadows. Anything. The sun was rising higher. Light was stronger. Heat growing. That made it harder. But also helped him see. The building appeared again in the distance. Broken. Burned. And around it, men. Many of them. Watching. Moving. Daniel stopped. Studied them. Too many at the front. Too alert. He needed another way. He moved around. Wide circle. Keeping distance. Time passed. Minutes felt like hours. Finally, he saw something. The backside of the building. Less guarded. Only 2 men. Better than many. Daniel got closer. Slow. Careful. He picked up a small rock. Threw it far to the side. It hit the ground with a soft sound. One of the men turned. Then the other. They moved toward the noise. That was the moment. Daniel ran forward. Silent. Fast. He reached the wall. Slipped inside through a broken opening. Back inside. The smell of smoke was stronger now. Fire still burning in parts. Daniel moved quickly toward the stairway. Down again. The underground room. Still there. Still quiet. For now, Daniel moved to the tables. Grabbed wires. Radios. Anything useful. Then he found it. Explosives. Not large, but enough. His hands moved fast now. Focused. He set the explosives near key spots. Walls. Support beams. If it worked, this whole place would collapse. He stepped back, looked at his work. Good enough. Then, a sound. Above. They were coming back. Daniel picked up the detonator. His heart was calm now. Strangely calm. No fear. Just one clear thought. End this. Footsteps on the stairs. Fast. Voices. Angry. They knew. Daniel looked at the door. The exit. He could run again. Maybe survive. Maybe not. Then he looked at the explosives. If he left, they would stay. More attacks. More deaths. Daniel closed his eyes for 1 second. He saw his sister again. Maria. Smiling. He took a deep breath. Opened his eyes. Decision made. He moved behind a strong concrete wall. Held the detonator tight. The first enemy appeared at the bottom of the stairs. Then another. They saw him. Shouted. Raised their guns. Daniel didn't wait. He pressed a button. The explosion was massive. The ground shook. Fire burst through the building. Walls collapsed. The roof crashed down. Dust filled the sky. Everything above the underground. Everything. Outside, silence. The men who were hunting him. Gone. The base. Destroyed. Hours later, military helicopters arrived. Soldiers moved through the ruins. Careful. Searching. They found bodies. Destroyed weapons. Burned maps. Proof of everything. One soldier stood still, looking at the broken ground. Someone did this, he said quietly. Another soldier nodded. Yeah. They didn't say more. They didn't need to. Days later, the report was written. Mission failed. All soldiers lost. Enemy base destroyed. Threat stopped. Private Daniel Reyes' name was listed among the fallen. No long story.
I miss you so much.
No full explanation.
I look
just
at
a
your
line
picture
on a
every
page.
day.
But somewhere, far away,
I hope you come
a
home
young
soon.
girl looked at an old photo and smiled. Because even if the world did not know, one soldier stopped everything. Alone,